Join us and peer into the dark and unknown mysteries with your host, J-Rock, Frank Walls, and Mr. Valentine. Welcome to Distorted Realities, as we discuss the unknown and you discover your truths.
Welcome to the Distorted Reality Special, DaVinci's Mysteries. Here are your hosts, J-Rock, Frank Walls, and Mr. Valentine. Remember, discuss the unknown and discover your truths.
Welcome to Distorted Realities. This is J-Rock alongside Frank the Tank Walls and Mr. Valentine's.
What up, guys?
Greetings,
Long
salutations.
time no see. Yeah, it's been a long summer, right?
Oh, yeah.
A busy one, as you can see. New decorum on the on your screen. New intro, getting ready for primed and ready for season 3.
Yes.
Right? And yeah, I figured let's start warming up because October 31st is right around the bend. Right. And yeah, new season, new things, new opportunities. And I think it's going to be awesome. Right.
Yeah.
So for those of you who don't know us, we're Distorted Realities. We're a show we started 2 seasons ago last year. And we discuss all types of crazy things, cryptids, mysteries, conspiracy theories, aliens, paranormal. And we venture off and discuss these things and in hopes of discussing the unknown and you I guess accepting your own truths, right? So with that being said, if you are interested in submitting any information regarding the show and make a request for specific content, all you have to do is email us at contact@thedistortedrealities.com. If you're a fan of the show, always remember to like and subscribe. All right. And more importantly, the phone lines are open, 904-803-7327, 904-803-7327. And of course, we'll gladly accept your calls. Give us a shout out. Tell us what you like or don't like about the show or the content. If you have questions regarding the content. And yeah, so how are you guys?
Good. What about you?
Doing great. Can't complain.
But move the mic closer.
There you go.
There we go. Yeah. So it's been an interesting 2 months. We have a season of new things. Mr. Valentine is going to get his own show. Mr. Valentine's Freakishly Frightening Fact.
Instead of 5, it's only 1.
But it's
There
only
you go.
one in great detail.
Yes.
So it's going to be good. So you get one freakishly frightening fact per episode.
More elaborated.
Right.
Yeah.
And then we have a series in the style of Tales from the Dark Side and such, which is called Mr. Grimm's Terrifying Tales. And this is all shot on camera, makeup effects, and all that jazz. At first, it might not be as great as we want it, but eventually we'll get to the point where we're delivering on, top content in terms of visual fidelity, basically. But we're making progress, right? Like things look better now. Audio sounds great. Can you go to YouTube and see on the computer? See if anybody's joined on the chat.
Yep, we got Max Meeks.
Hey, Max. How are you, Max? Can you hear
Welcome,
us?
Max.
1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Mr. Meeks in the house. Hey, hope everything is well. So today's special, right, is about very prominent person, right, in society, and a historical figure, right? His name is Leonardo da Vinci.
The
Right.
Da Vinci Code. I'm sorry.
Well, you have the Da Vinci Code, but you also have Da Vinci's Demons. Yeah, I don't know if you've ever seen that series.
Yeah.
It was pretty astonishing.
I haven't seen it, but sounds like something I should put on the watch list.
Yes, you should watch it. So who is this Leonardo da Vinci, right?
An artist,
Yeah,
an inventor.
a jack of all trades and a master of all,
100%.
right? But what intrigues us about him is that he left a lot of things behind that when people dug into it, it was hidden secrets, right?
Yeah.
and he founded painting styles that allowed for that, right? But more importantly, there's a point in his life where something crazy happened. But I don't want to delve into that because we actually traveled in time, right? We went on a time machine.
We actually met the guy.
Yeah, we
That's
met the
very
guy.
Impressive,
Me.
very impressive.
They
Yeah.
forced me into the time machine. I wanted to sit home, but they were like, "We're going in a time machine." I'm like, "Okay."
But just like all things, while we were out, right, we found that there are imposters, right, that want to do what we do.
There's some copycats around.
So let's mute ourselves for a second so you could check out the video that they sent us live from Peru, the jungles of Peru, right? So hold on, let me just play that real quick.
Hey, J-Rock, see if you can top this. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die.
Let's play that one more time.
Hey, J-Rock, see if you can top this. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die.
All right, so there you have it. That's the imposters show. Hold on, again. Sorry about that.
That guy has man boobs.
So you know, we started a movement, I guess, and people are trying to one up us every step of the way. But like I said, we'll top them off when we show and reveal the final footage of our video that we're going to present to you next. And then we're going to go into a discussion piece about Leonardo da Vinci. And of course, we're not going to discuss cryptids or aliens in detail, but we do have some paranormal reviews that we're going to check out via TikTok. And this time we're just going to look at some of the Japanese stuff.
Oh, that's the scary stuff.
Mac Mix says, Frank, you look healthy, not fat. Thank you. Thank you, Mac. Thank
All
you.
love Max.
Remember, this is Henry Cavill in disguise. This man
Thank
is
you.
built as
Yeah,
Henry Cavill.
he is the real Man of Steel.
Thank you. Thank
Right.
you.
So, but with that being said, I think that Leonardo was a man of many interesting skills. He was from the Renaissance period, hence the term that's coined, the Renaissance man, because he did it all.
Yeah.
Right. So outside of that, let's explore.
Come watch the mystery of mysteries, the end and the beginning.
So with that, onto the video scope. Fair enough?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, cool. Ladies and gentlemen, we are actually in Medici, Italy by way of time machine to meet the legendary Leonardo da Vinci. However, we made a mistake and met the much older, wiser, and grumpier version of himself. We'll correct that later. With that being said, who is this genius enigma and what secrets did he leave behind?
Please stop revealing my secrets.
Leonardo da Vinci was born on April 15, 1452 at Acciano, Italy. At 14, he moved to Florence under an apprenticeship in the arts, and by the age of 20, obtained mastery of the arts and was also a doctor. He became famous for his arts and war inventions, which he provided to various families that were in power.
Distorted realities will be the death of me.
Now, Leonardo accomplished a great deal of things, sculpting at very famous known places and leaving his mark. However, There was a period in which he was a hermit, reported to be secluded in a cave for various months or years at a time, where he would speak to these otherworldly beings. And again, it's just a rumor, but worth looking.
I should have never eaten those cheeseburgers with Frank Walls.
I will impart to you the secrets of the world, but don't tell Mr. Valentine.
This is bad news, Miller. Wait till J-Rock hears about this.
His masterworks include Mona Lisa, Salvator Mundi, and St. John the Baptist paintings that grace us at museums all over the world. Some of his notable inventions are the ornithopter, the water wheel, and the fighting vehicle. Most importantly, Leonardo's remarkable anatomical references set the standard for what we know as anatomy today. However, Leonardo left us some dark secrets. Sometimes, secrets are left within the art for us to discover. Why the alien depictions? What mysteries was left behind in the Last Supper painting? How did he acquire this knowledge? So now, let's talk about it. By the way, here's proof that we actually time traveled and met Leonardo da Vinci.
All right, guys, it's time to drink. Beer, 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 beer.
Oh man, that was crazy. So yeah.
That was insane.
Top that, imposters. Let's see if you got something for us.
We went back in time to talk with the guy, Da Vinci.
So yeah, a lot of things esoteric, a lot of history behind what happened. So the rumor is that outside of being naturally gifted, right? There was a period in his time where he secluded himself.
Mm-hmm.
And while in seclusion, he ended up in a cave. And supposedly he had an encounter with some otherworldly beings. This could be spiritual, this could be alien in nature. And yeah, it could be something very unique, right? In this instance. However, his paintings, right, showcased a lot of
otherworldly things
when people started figuring out that there was just too much going on, right?
You're gonna look at one of the paintings to see J-Rock there with like a peace sign.
Like, hey, he predicted it, right? So
like that.
So I attempted to look at the Mona Lisa, right? And replicate the whole alien thing. And I actually got some success with some of the paintings. Some of the other ones had to do with lighting and negative and retracing. I couldn't get it. However, I'm very convinced at this point that there is something there.
Before we continue, we have just gotten a rose by Ziora. Thank you.
Thank you, Sayora.
Thank you, Sayora. Thank you.
Appreciate it. She also said that was awesome, referring to the video that was played. So thank you.
Thank you. So then we also have these photos. So let's go over them, right? Some of these images were just awestruck, but this was the painting of John the Baptist. So what they did was they took two of the same pictures, they flipped one over, and they merged them, right? And then they would adjust the contrast, hue, saturation levels, and stuff. And this is what they came up with.
Let's see. Let's
Any
see.
day,
Let's
no?
see.
See if I can get this up because
John Baptist. Who's John Baptist?
That was the one that baptized Jesus Christ
there you
in
go.
the river.
no.
So the picture shows two fingers moving, pointing upward, but in between that, it looks like a pair of eyes, a mouth, and an elongated head.
Oh no, a xenomorph.
It could be, right? So it's very interesting.
Yeah.
I wasn't able to replicate it exact, but I kind of see the details
Yeah.
in my Photoshop
You
imagery.
could see the two eyes. You could see the eyes. The eyes are pretty prominent in it. As for everything else, it's really hard to make out if you're not really like paying attention to it. But other than that, I think it looks like Alien, and I think he's definitely trying to tell us something. 100%.
I think so as well. So moving on to the next photo, which is, and I'm going to just put it here.
Oh, another photo.
So look, this is the picture here. And it, apparently I think it's the Virgin Mary with a bunch of children, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, he does a lot of artwork portraying the Virgin Mary.
Isn't
with-
it a
with
lot of his
people.
like artwork just biblical in general? Like a lot of
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's in a crazy context because he doesn't believe in in like religion per se. He believes in nature, right?
Okay,
Based
okay.
on the research I did. However, it's a very simplistic image. It looks really nice, right? However, when you follow the same process, check it out.
Go ahead and check this out right now. Whoa, that's okay.
Yeah. So that's kind of like the interesting piece that a lot of his art, when you split them and you do that, they end up resulting in giving you some.
And they're always in the
alien-like-
center. Always in the center from the looks of it, if you do this.
Right. So the next one I did was the Mona Lisa.
Ooh.
And then with
The
the
famous
Mona
one.
Lisa, you could see it like right between her neckline and the crest of her skull. Like you see it merge and look like an alien, exactly like that. Frank has a picture of the alien that they've envisioned in the actual imagery, and it's a spot on exact
is-
clone.
For context, these are my first time seeing these. So
But yeah, so you have that. Of course, you have more images that are all over the internet. I won't get into it a great deal. However, I just found it very interesting, and I think we should now segue into discussion.
Well, they always look like Lamb. Lamb was he was contacted by Aleister Crowley. It was a type of he did some rituals and stuff, and he made contact with an entity named Lamb, and it looks like a gray alien.
You know what was his last words before he died?
No.
What have I done?
You see? Because
Yeah.
they say he opened like a portal, and
notice how it's always people opening a portal, regretting what they
Yeah.
did the minute they do it.
he
It's
did
in
a big
movies.
ritual. He did a big ritual. Apparently, he opened a portal, and he was able to communicate with that.
I mean, that
creature.
that segues into the occult, right?
Cough, cough. Evil Dead. Cough, cough.
No, yeah. So it's funny you say that because Da Vinci had an interest in the occult. So there's a cult or a sect called the Sons of Mithras. And basically that was during his period in the 1400s where he was in Medici. Yeah, Medici. So the way it worked for those of you who don't know, he was born in Acciano, Italy, but he went to Florence to do his apprenticeship.
I thought you were going to say he went to Florida to do his apprenticeship.
With the crocodiles.
With the native.
He
That
went,
was native
yeah,
at the
he went
time.
and did his apprenticeship and got a master by a guild. So back then, whatever skill you learned through an apprenticeship, but it was ran by a guild.
The Mages Guild.
Yeah, it's akin to that, like an RPG game, right?
Like a guild is like a clan.
Yeah, it's like a group.
Like a
So
clan.
let's just say there's a guild dedicated to hunting alligators. There's
You
like
have
the
a
alligator hunting
blacksmith
guild.
guild. You had, that kind
You
of
got
stuff.
that distorted reality guild.
Yes, you learn how to form your own opinions via
Right.
what we give you. I think all right.
Oh, or audio. They're saying or audio. Can you guys
How about
turn
now?
up your
Is it better?
audio?
Better. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2.
Hair. Gray must exist too many accounts for them not to.
Yeah, I mean they historically it's no secret nowadays, and I think it's becoming socially acceptable that there is alien life throughout the universe.
What about that ship that they're saying is coming in November?
Oh no, we'll talk about that during the paranormal. I got a little skit on that.
Pardon?
Huh?
Pardon? What you mean November? What?
Yeah,
Huh?
for my birthday. Their decided came on my birthday.
That's gonna be. They're gonna come
They're
down.
coming.
They're gonna come down and be like, Frank Walls, we're giving you a all expense paid trip to the moon.
Nah,
Imagine that.
So I'm gonna tell you guys. It reminds me of the Twilight Zone episode "To Serve Man,"
Oh man, that episode was.
where the aliens come to the United Nations and they're like, "Hey, you know, we got this planet that's ready for you guys. You'll never starve. You'll never suffer." And guess what?
They get cooked.
They were
Literally.
the book they found was deciphered, and it was a cookbook.
Yeah, but I saw that on a Simpson episode too.
Yeah. Isn't that
With the-
something?
with
So
the gray.
they showed up and did this.
Yeah, all expenses paid trip, yippee.
Yep.
Just to get actually cooked and eaten.
They're seasoning on your way to the planet. They're already putting season on you.
Hey, what's this? That's to protect you from the sun.
Yeah.
So going back to Da Vinci was involved with a lot of the occult stuff. But more importantly, his inventions, believe it or not, were weapons of war.
That's new to me.
So he was paid to invent weapons that could give them an advantage in order to win wars. Right during that period, Florence was the dominant location, right? So it kind of led to that kind of discussion as to why he invented so much.
Yeah.
And I'll do you one better. He invented the first robot.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it was a lion that did a parlor trick, right?
Mhm.
But it was automated.
Oh my God, animatronics.
Yeah, basically, he was the. So here's the thing: when we look at Da Vinci's body of work, like the Wright brothers might have flown the plane, but they weren't the first ones to design it.
Yeah, they just
On
built-
record,
They just built off of the blueprint. I'm assuming. I think it was a
Right.
blueprint that Da Vinci made. They just
So-
built off that blueprint.
yeah. So
and
a
nothing
lot
else.
of the stuff that was built was based off of that.
Yeah.
And it led to the progress of ingenuity, right? Like
Yeah.
people started becoming more creative because they had a boilerplate to work with, right? You also have a lot of his anatomical works.
Mm.
This guy used to draw body parts, and I mean, we're talking like to the sinew of a muscle,
Wow.
to that degree, where today's anatomy is based on pretty much how he started doing the drawing.
Even the books like for nursing and stuff like that,
Yeah,
they have the picture of the anagram.
yeah, the anatomy.
Anatomy, yeah. The picture that has like a man like this and like
Yeah, I don't know what that's called. What was it called?
Anatomy.
No. The guy with the like
the
6
picture
arms.
that has like
With the 6 arms. It's like he's like that.
Oh, that's called the Vitruvian Man.
there you go.
Yeah,
thing.
that's one of the biggest anatomical masterpieces or sketches that he ever drew himself.
Mhm.
So he wasn't just a painter; he did frescoes, or he was consigned. Right, he was paid to do art or pieces at churches during
Yeah.
a period where the churches were the dominant.
Like
They were
religion, yeah.
so the politician really held no weight. The religion
It was the
did.
churches.
The
religion,
churches
yeah.
that led the way, right? Especially in Europe.
Oh yeah.
It is true he was a Freemason.
There are talks about that. I don't know how real that is.
Shout out to all Freemasons out
So this led to like this type wheel of like how many things he's accomplished, right?
Yeah. This man is a master of every single craft.
there.
Basically, and to the point where he had political power. He was very, there's people that make the decision, but you never look at the decision maker. You look at the influencer behind it. And he was very influential.
He was probably part of the board.
He could have been.
He was a part of the Illuminati.
Yeah. So he was one of those people that really knew how to flex his muscles. There is some mystery as to things like he never had a wife.
That man was too locked in on his work. He said, "Women are an issue."
Actually, there's historically there's been rumors that he went both ways, right? He played the field, and he was in love with another male figure, right?
I bet you he wouldn't have a wife. He didn't will have time to paint.
Bro, he said, "Women are a distraction. I need to focus on my work."
So many conspiracies, right? The first one being the paintings and the alien stuff, and we kind of covered that. The second one is the code,
DaVinci's Code,
right? So this whole thing stemmed from looking at paintings and realizing that there was a certain level of detail that when you actually went microscopically in, you would see certain symbols and things that shouldn't be there. Right. And we're going to go to three different aspects of this. The first one we're going to talk about is the Last Supper. Right. So let me just pull up the picture.
Oh, hey, I know that artwork. I know that piece.
I think for us Puerto Ricans, we had that picture in every single top of the house. Right?
Oh, you're going to a get together? Yeah. Look above the table. Look above the dinner table. You'll see it.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing to where are you? The Last Supper. So here's the image of the Last Supper. Now, this is very interesting, right? Because in most of modern day, when you see the Last Supper, you see a halo on Jesus. He never put a halo on Jesus, right? And that's because he didn't believe that he didn't believe in Jesus. He believed that he was human and fallible, just like all of us.
Gotcha.
And he believed in nature. Nature is God, right? Then this depiction here, what's the first thing that they point out is the structure of the hands and the positioning as to what they're trying to articulate, right? But the point that I'm trying to get at is, if you look to I guess my left, it'll be your right, the viewer. You'll see a person leaning towards a guy with gray hair, and there's another guy with black hair, like just looking slightly above. That's Judas. The one with the black hair, he's holding onto a bag of coin, and behind them is another person holding a knife. And the person that's leaning with long flowing hair is not a man.
That's Mary Magdalene?
Yes. So basically, the first theory, the first conspiracy is that Jesus packed up with Mary.
But I assume
Jesus, you dog.
I assume the guy with the knife is Peter.
Yes,
because it was the one that cut the ear of the soldier. With the
I
sword.
didn't know that a lot of them were even. Those are biblical figures, right? Like people. I've never
That's
really.
the 12 disciples.
I've never really read the Bible, so I wouldn't know this.
So the sad part is they all died a very messed up death, except for one. And this is where it gets interesting.
All of them died for the cause.
Not all of them died for the cause, and one betrayed them. But here's where it gets sticky. And now, for those of you who are religious, understand that I'm presenting this as just theoretical research and not that I am agreeing to this at all. All right. But there's a book, right? So there is the Aramaic version of the Bible, which is the complete, untouched, unrivaled Bible, right?
With the Apocrypha and all that.
Yeah. So what happened was, many years afterwards, King James, right, went to the Vatican, and they started to remove certain books. So these books are what we refer to as gospel. So when you open a Bible, right, you can pull out a piece of content, the gospel according to Mr. Valentine. That gospel is his book, right? So this is an example, right? So according to Matthew, Luke, Peter, Paul, right? So all those gospels are in that Bible, and they fit in a specific timeline, and you get different perspectives and different stories about,
they were inspired by
the
God.
greatest story ever told.
Or
by
they
the
were
way.
just telling the story what they saw, what they lived through the
Right.
situation.
So now what happens is you have the Book of Enoch, the Book of the Giants, the Apocrypha, the Lost Gospels of Thomas, the some of the Dead Sea Scrolls. So there's a lot of different books that are out
I
there.
think there's a Mary Magdalene one too.
Yeah. So there's a lot of books out there that were stripped from the original Bible and essentially, and again, I gave you examples. I don't know if they're all in there or not. That's for a scholar to do that, but I'm just presenting it as I looked it up, right? And basically, some of these books were removed because they were deemed harmful to kind of like the idea of religion, right? It can sway your perception of Jesus, of God, and all this other stuff. But the Apocrypha does something very interesting.
Yeah, the Bible was edited by the Council of Nicaea.
Yeah.
They were the one that edited the Bible.
Right.
They
So,
removed a lot of
so, and ironically enough, the same person that edited the Bible, which is King James, is the same person that wrote the first book on demonology. So it's hit or miss, right?
Yeah, he knew something.
But here's what I think, and you nailed it.
Mhm.
Leo knew something
Exactly.
because in the Apocrypha, there's a little blip. See, we always look at Judas as the betrayer, right? But if you read the Apocrypha, Judas, during the supper, afterwards they walk out. Judas hints at, "I know you're not who you say you are," right? So,
Yeah.
but that's not canon in the Bible. That's in the Apocrypha.
Apocrypha. Okay.
So, it's like a different take on what's going on. And there's a mention of Barbello and a one true God that's above the God that we know today.
That's also Sophia and all that.
Yeah. So there's a lot of things that go into this in terms of
the Demiurge.
yeah.
That's that's John. Is it Juan? The Juan.
Juan Swanson.
Well, it's a Juan book. Like it has a name, something about Juan, John.
So there's a lot of books. This could make a whole conversation.
Yeah, a whole
but
episode.
again, like
That's more Gnosticism.
yeah,
the
it's
the
called
Gnostics.
Gnostic text is what it's
they're not-
called,
yeah.
right? Or they call it Hermetic text is another word for it. So there's a lot going on with religion at that period, right? There's a lot of movement, a lot of low key movement in the religion world, specifically Catholicism, right?
Oh, yeah.
They were making during that Renaissance period, that was a big deal, right? So this image is very important because one, it depicts about Mary Magdalene. Two, it kind of sheds light on why Judas was looking at them like,
Yeah.
what are you talking about? This
So
guy,
who- so-
this guy fooled you all, right?
So who's missing in the picture? Because if there's replace one of them with Mary Magdalene, right?
I don't
Well,
remember off the top of my head. I didn't bother to even write it down, and I should have. Sorry, guys.
No, don't worry.
But more importantly, there is a video where someone uncovered that this picture actually is a musical composition.
Ooh.
Yeah, so somebody was able to break it down and play the musical notes, and it is so creepy. Like it's just a weird play on those people who study music.
It was a piano. It's
Yeah.
it's piano. Okay. Of course, it's gonna sound creepy. It's a piano.
Yeah, so the other thing is, Leonardo was in an era where there was
right here. 1 second. It says in Leonardo da Vinci painting of the Last Supper, the missing figure is Judas Iscariot. While the painting depicts all
all.
12 apostles with Jesus, Judas is notably absent, having left the supper after being identified as the betrayer. Other depictions of the Last Supper often show Judas isolated from the other
others.
disciples. But Leonardo's version placed him within the group, subtly conveying his betrayal throughout his shouted posture. According to the Gospel, Mary Magdalene was not present at the Last Supper, according to some Bible.
So that's where the problem lies. You
Mhm.
just heard one depiction. The image you're looking at now, the gentleman with the blue robe under between Mary Magdalene and Peter, that is Judas. And what he's holding in his hand is a bag of coin.
But how many people?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And Jesus.
All 12 apostles and Jesus.
So it's missing one because with Mary Magdalene there should be 13.
No, Mary Magdalene shouldn't be there at all,
Exactly.
right?
Mary Magdalene's not an
So-
apostle?
No, no.
No. So according to Bible, no.
She
So
was a
what's-
follower.
She was a follower, but not not like the main 12.
Yeah.
Unless she was part of it, and maybe because how the word used to be before, with women, so they were excluded or whatever.
Right.
Who
So
knew?
I mean, very interesting. But the more important part is that if you look outside in the background, it's showing you that there's a specific location where they were having this supper. And I guess they're starting to realize that there are places that to this day resemble this
The background,
location,
yeah.
and they're actually looking for other locations so they can pinpoint exactly where Jesus had
Where the Last Supper,
was held,
okay.
right? I mean, there's tons and tons of stuff on the Last Supper by itself that you could go into when it comes to Leonardo da Vinci's paintings. I was fortunate enough to go to the MoMA, the museum, the Modern Museum of Art, and there was pictures. Now, what I wanted to talk about was he wasn't alone, right? There were people during his period that were doing paintings as intense and as good as he was. Not better,
But almost there.
but you had Michelangelo Caravaggio. He was an amazing painter. Amazing, right?
Mhm.
So you had a whole bunch of people during that period that were it was literally like
Engaging in that art
that
form.
was the thing.
The art
you know.
form.
So you know how like today electronics is the thing, like games,
AI.
video games and AI is the thing. Back then, art was the thing, right? Of the period. So if you was an amazing sculptor, a painter, a drawer, a tailor that did custom
Custom, yeah.
designs, you was in it, right?
And real art, not like
were big-
now that people are doing. They put in like a pallet wood in the wall and they say
they
that's
just
art.
splash it, yeah.
Yeah.
Like
So let's look at another picture.
At that point in time, if you were an artist, you were getting real gold.
yeah.
So here's a picture, right? And I excuse me for not remembering the name of the painting, but this painting is very interesting because when you zoom into this picture, right? If you look to my right, which would probably be your left or your right,
It'd be
you'll
the right,
see,
the right side, the right side
right
of the screen.
behind the head of the individual, there appears to be an object that looks like a flying saucer, right? And then to the bottom of that, like right by shoulder level or beneath the shoulder, you can see a guy just literally with his hands up, looking upward, like, "Hey, what is that?"
Why is there a
Right?
flying saucer?
Right. But the interesting part is that to the right of it, to the left of it, on the tree side, there's three objects in the air, shimmering in gold, and this one golden object that resembles an eye. So, what do we associate an eye with? We had an episode about it.
Angels.
Angels, right? So
Biblically accurate ones.
biblically accurate angels,
Yeah.
right? I think this one looks like the thrones, right? The one with a
Yeah.
whole bunch of eyes. But very interesting. The other thing that you don't realize is that above her there is a halo.
Mm.
Very faint.
And how do you gain a halo?
You have to be holy, right? Like
Exactly. So it's just very interesting pieces. Da Vinci was a master craftsman when it came to giving you something to look at and say, look a little deeper and you'll see what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
because maybe a lot of people would just look at it and be like, "Oh, this is beautiful art," but anyone who is really, really paying attention to the artwork would see
Yeah.
everything in the background going on.
So let's go to the Mona Lisa real quick. So the Mona Lisa, right? And I'm just, we're looking at two Mona Lisa side by side, but there's things about her that really stand out. In her eyes, there are symbols that caught when you magnify into the eye. The positioning of her eye, what she was staring at,
yeah.
right? The posture, right? Became a big deal. But more importantly, when you look at the painting, the way it was etched or painted on, left like these little lines and crevices that kind of look like they have some kind of encoded message, right? So outside of this alien stuff, you could peer into any one of these masterworks, because they call masterworks, and you'll be surprised what you find.
Yeah.
It's a great deal, and it's very, very interesting. You could spend years on this stuff. There's people that have committed their whole lives to this,
I saw the Mona Lisa once.
right? So
I don't know if it was a copy or it was a real one, but it was. I was a kid that took it to a museum back in Puerto Rico, and it was like a showing.
Mm-hmm.
did they have the straw hat from Puerto Rico? So yeah, so very interesting, very detailed, including the positions of her hands also predict certain things, right? I'm not no expert on every single line item here, but however, it's something if you're really interested in just researching, you can have a field day. So I want to give you a quick rundown of what you can watch that gives you this in a nutshell. Ancient Aliens did a really, really good job.
And no, this is not J Rock being biased because Ancient Aliens is one of his favorite shows of all time. It's genuinely a good show.
It's genuinely a good show.
It is.
And just to give you some context, they talk about the ancient astronaut theory, and it's all based on this book many years ago that was released by a guy named Eric von Daniken. It was called Chariot of the Gods, right? Which, if you read the book, it's almost like presenting the question, not stating the fact, right? But he questions gods and religion and all that stuff. And then it's for you to kind of figure it out. But the ancient astronaut theory goes a little deeper, that our present selves at some point will master time travel, and we face some great catastrophe and we go back in time to try to correct it, right?
Shout out to Giorgio Tuscualo.
No, it's Giorgio Tsoukalos. He is my
There you
hero. You know, we should get a shirt that says aliens and has him like this because I think he's great. He's brilliant.
Shout out to Timothy Alvarino too.
Eric von Daniken, David Childress, Robert Clothworthy, all those guys, they're amazing at the show.
Oh yeah.
However, you gotta take some other stuff with a grain of salt, right? Because not everything that's presented is factual. Some of it does have entertainment value. So you pick and choose your battles with that one. However, it is an extremely good show, and they always pivot to that book, you know, Chariot of the Gods and the Ancient Astronaut Theory. So when they talk about Tesla, it's like Tesla did all of this, but this is how it ties into the Ancient Astronaut Theory. They also were the first people to talk about Puma Punku.
The Puma Punku, yeah.
Right, the H blocks that were cut to perfection. In today's day, and there's no technology that can do that. Then you have Göbekli Tepe, which is a new finding of stones and carvings that predate ancient Sumerians. Right, so it's crazy. So it's a lot of stuff that's going on. I know you want to talk about the Last Supper. So who's on those? What are the names?
No, I just find out something here that it says that Mary Magdalene is not Mary. It's John. It's supposedly not Mary, but it looks like a woman. But it was painted like a woman, you know. And we got Peter. Judas is
I got it right.
Yeah, the one in the table.
So the person that's Mary Magdalene is supposed to be John.
John, yeah. And then you got Andrew, James Minor, Bartholomew, James Mayer, Thomas, Philip,
Frank Walls.
Matthew,
Frank Walls,
Thaddeus, and Simon, and you got Mr. Valentine over there in the back.
What?
So it just makes you want to think about, you know, how far back did they know these things, right? Because today we make a big deal out of it, but this is stuff that they knew, right?
They knew a lot.
And the more you dig and the more you realize, like, this stuff has been out there for a while. You just never bothered to look at it because our families, we're taught to, you know, this is what true life is. This is what this is. And you're supposed to abide by that and nothing else. And anything that you open your mind and your heart to is null and void, right? Anybody on the chats?
No, not on my end.
We got Lay Low Taco. Looks like alien. Nobody telling me different. There you go.
It is Taco. It is.
Shout out to Taco.
So yeah, so you had all this stuff going on during that period, and I think, you know, in a nutshell, you know, I think Leonardo knew a lot more than he is given credit for even to this day. And yeah, it just made for an interesting research piece, right? I I would like to visit his inventions. At some point, there's a museum where you could actually look at his inventions. And by the way, people have actually replicated his inventions and put them to use, and they work.
They work.
They work, including his flying stuff.
Holy.
Yeah. So all of his inventions were proven to work, including his autonomous lion one-trick pony thing that he had.
Yeah.
Matt Me says we were all taught not to question the consensus of reality.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny, Max, because you're spot on.
Mm-hmm.
The minute you do that, you become isolated, an isolated person.
You get
become
looked at like a weirdo for
you
even
know,
thinking of doing such a thing.
But at Distorted Realities, I embrace my weirdness the only way I could, and I'll leave it to chance. I'd rather take
whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. There's no
which
turning
pill
back.
you want to take.
I'll take
You
the
take the
red
blue
pill
pill.
all the time.
The
Red
story
pill
ends.
nation. Woo!
You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe.
So yeah, so that's kind of like how this whole thing framed out for me with Da Vinci. And by the way, I was inspired because I was watching the series Da Vinci's Demons, and they did a really good job of trying to put everything together. The whole secrecy, the whole cult, the inventions, the paintings. Of course, there's a lot of sex and all that shit. So it's a show, right?
Yeah.
So they have to sell it. They can't just be neutral about it. But it was a very good. I wish they could have kept going with the show. That's how I felt about it.
There is no more of the show?
They
Show's
canceled it. Yeah,
no?
they canceled it, and I was so bummed out because I thought it was just something that was really.
Be bummed out too.
good.
Don't worry.
But he had a bunch of seasons though.
It had 3 seasons, I
Right.
believe. Yeah.
But a lot
That's
of
the
episodes,
case.
right?
That's the case with a lot of shows, though. A lot of shows only have a couple seasons and get canceled.
No, and especially when the season draws too much attention and it's hitting on a subject that can perhaps sway people to look a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
That's what happened to me with Da Vinci's Demons. I saw the Da Vinci Code, right? It was cool because it played into this whole mystery thing, but it wasn't as thorough. I guess the emphasis was on Tom Hanks unraveling the clues, not the actual clues themselves.
Gotcha.
Where Da Vinci's Demons emphasizes the whole mystery.
Gotcha.
The actor was great, but the mystery was the important
It was
selling
the-
point,
yeah.
right? So yeah. That's how I feel about it. Anything about Leonardo?
He's a great Ninja Turtle.
Yes.
No, I think Leonardo da Vinci is potentially one of the greatest mysteries of all time.
I'm gonna blow your fucking mind right now.
Okay.
Every single Ninja Turtle was named after a famous
Oh yeah.
painter of the Renaissance.
Michelangelo, Donatello,
Raphael.
Leonardo.
So they were
Raphael.
all famous Renaissance people, right? Except for Master Splinter.
Yeah, no, Master's just a rat.
So yeah, so going on to that,
What about DiCaprio? His family of
no, so believe it or not, Leonardo DiCaprio was born in Italy.
Wait, really?
wow.
Yeah.
You see?
You learn something new every day.
That's why he bears the name Leonardo.
Leonardo.
And his last name is very much Italian, DiCaprio.
Yeah. So he was born in Italy.
Wow.
A lot of people that are born in Italy, they carry their namesakes, and that whole Leonardo.
Yeah.
Sylvester Stallone too, right? He's from Italy too, right? Is he no, Rocky was. It was Rocky.
No,
there.
yo, Adrian.
I think he was born and raised in New York by an Italian family.
Right.
I never forget it. He was like, "My house stink, Mick. Is my house stink?" And you hear Mick in the background. Rocky, you're gonna win this fight. If I'm there, you're gonna win. See the nails of the gloves? My house stink, Mick. So
Oh, I wanna make a moment of silence. I forgot Hulk Hogan just depart us. A
So-
legend.
So yeah, I mean, let's talk about that for a second because we lost more than just Hulk Hogan. We lost legends
Exactly.
in the entertainment space. My personal dig was on Ozzy Osbourne.
That one hurt me.
And
that
that
one
shit
hurt me
dig.
more.
That hit the heart, and only because I grew up being a metalhead kid. I'm the product of Metallica, Iron Maiden,
Black Sabbath.
Megadeth, Black Sabbath, Ozzy Osbourne, Bark at the Moon. Oh my God, that was to me, that's the holy grail. And of course, why Bark at the Moon? Because my favorite guitarist was there, right? And he passed away in a plane crash. So, you know, it was very hard hitting because he was also talking about esoteric stuff. Mr. Crawley, he wrote a song about Aleister Crowley, and he made that shit great, right? Like it wasn't this like, you know, it was really good. And then of course, you know, you had Hulk Hogan, who he resembles my childhood with my brothers. We used to watch WWF at the time. It wasn't WWE, World Wrestling Federation, and I'll never forget it. You know, we used to sit down every Saturday at 12 o'clock, and then we would hope and pray that there would be Friday night main event, which you would watch. You know, oh yeah, the Macho Man. You know, you watch all these great wrestlers.
I have a bunch of.
Hulk Hogan was iconic. He was my younger brother's favorite. And I'll never forget the sadness in his face when he lost to the Ultimate Warrior.
The Ultimate Warrior, yeah. That was one of my favorites.
So it was very heartbreaking, but he transcended and made the sport what it is. So kudos to him. Anything outside in his personal life and stuff that's I'm not into that. And not because it isn't right. It's just because I'm looking at the person who's contributed to society in said way. And his contributions were huge. He changed the landscape of wrestling. Right?
He was one that one of the
You can't deny his influence on the wrestling
No,
world.
you can't deny it. So
Right.
Yeah, he's done horrible. He said horrible in the past.
yeah, and let me tell you that the third person is Huxtable, Theo Huxtable, right? What's his name? Let me look him up. You just look up Theo Huxtable. I'm sorry, but I so many people.
Theo Huxtable.
Theo?
THEO.
Oh.
Malcolm Jamal Warner came to my head. Malcolm Jamal Warner. So that was his name.
Theo what?
It's THE.
So he was from the Cosby Show. He was an actor.
Ah, yeah, yeah. I
So-
know who you're talking about.
So yeah, so he was a very prominent actor in the Cosby Show, and of course a person of minority to be kind of like the poster boy of success and being part of an affluent family in the show kind of changed the landscape, because being a minority myself and living in the South Bronx for many years, you know, there was kind of like this misconception that there was no hope, right? And that gave us hope, right? He was a cool kid. He was trending and doing the right things, and yeah, it was really actually he's more important to my culture, subculture, than a wrestler or a rock star would be, because he gave hope, and that was good. I mean, yes, you had Bill Huxtable and the rest of the family, but could identify with Theo, right, and Malcolm Jamal Warner, because I wanted to be a cool kid. I want to be in a house and prominent in society.
Yeah, be
and
successful and all that.
you know. And not only that, they showcased a lot of the oppression they dealt with in spite of being successful, right? Because they were minorities. They were treated slightly different, but they held their own, and they moved ahead and upwards. So so a lot of losses, and it's sad, but you know, all good things must come to an end at some point, including us.
Even the show.
Yeah.
You know? So before I do, I want to make sure that I unravel those mysteries. Agreed?
Agreed.
I agree.
All right. So anything else we want to talk about Da Vinci? Any questions about Da Vinci? Any questions on TikTok? Any questions on... Oh, by the way, we're streaming on TikTok, YouTube, and Rumble at the same time now. So
Multi-streaming.
we're multi-streaming.
We're everywhere. We everywhere.
All right, so we're good?
Yep.
All right. So let's segue now into something we haven't done in a while.
Paranormal reviews. Now I have fun with these.
You know, that's not paranormal, right?
That's a murderer. That's a murderer, Frank.
All right, so let's go. Let's pause for a second.
That's aliens, not the paranormal.
All right, here we are. Paranormal reviews, folks. And yeah,
It's time.
it's time. So let's look at the first video. And by the way, all these reviews, we just look at them. They come from TikTok. All the names of the individuals that posted it is on the video so that they can get credit for their work. We just review the video and talk about the content itself. So kudos to those who put it up. If your name is not mentioned, it's not because we want to take credit for it. But that's full disclosure. We just saying your name is on the video, so I am not going to repeat myself. All right. So let's go to video number 1.
This footage shows a Japanese camera crew investigating an abandoned hospital. The reporter finds a camera that's been left behind and starts to look through it. Shortly after, a spirit manifests in front of her, causing her to panic. Number 1. David Shaw died on the 8th of January 2005 while recovering a dead body. Shaw recorded his dive with an underwater camera, which allowed researchers to determine that he suffered from respiratory issues due to the high pressure.
The time is nearly to the point where he needs to leave. Okay, good check. All the time checking, making sure he's okay, working at the same time. There's the line. This is a line we were worried about being loose, and there it is loose. Okay, we've now come to the end of our time now, and it's time to leave. Dave's decided he's going to leave. All on plan, everything's right. He's still working hard, everything's right. He's leaving. All on time, working hard. Quick check, make sure his gauges are right. Something seems to be stopping him now, and he's caught in the line. Okay, he's working hard trying to untangle himself. You can see the bag. Okay, there he goes, he's moving on again. Now he's breathing very hard. It's getting quite difficult to do things. Good check on the gauge. Now Dave's breathing would be getting quite heavy as he's trying to work his way out, and slowly Dave would start to become incoherent, and then he would stop.
Wow, that's crazy. So the whole process of him like trying to get out and just drown. But that first video showed 2 different stories, right? These are lost tapes. First one was like an old abandoned hospital in Japan, and the lady, I guess, found the camera, found some old footage, and then only to realize that there was a ghost there.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, those Japanese ones always freaked me out. I don't know. The Japanese are
There's
amazing at making
something.
scary.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Scary
the
stuff.
let's check out the next one because it's
All right.
also from Japan.
Oh God.
She was exploring a house when she sees this. A Japanese man and woman went to explore a recently abandoned house in Japan. The former owner was a woman who lost her husband and daughter in an accident and eventually couldn't bear to continue living, so she took her own life. However, this man and woman are interested in the house, so they come to take a look at the property when they capture something utterly terrifying.
いいね、それは。ね、本当。木があるのね。ね、手入れ大変そうだけどね。ありがとう。ねえ、そこ開く？
大丈夫だろう。多分中からどうにかすれば。
だといいけど。
As they approach the front of the building and begin examining the area, the girl notices the figure of a woman just standing there on the window above, when the house is supposed to be vacant. Shortly after, they enter the building and begin to look at the rooms, until they capture something creepy once again.
ねえ、そこ2階の窓、今さ、なんかそこから人が見えたんだよね。
本当？
うん。
中に誰かいるの？
でも誰もいないって言ったの。こっちはそうか。あ、いいじゃん。結構広いな。見てよ、いきなり後ろにいんの。
何言ってんだよ。上見たけど、やっぱ誰もいなかったよ。
本当？
It seems as though the people exploring the house are already aware of the past deaths that have occurred, but they didn't know that the house is haunted.
ねえ、ちょっと。
何？
来て。見えるよ、あれ。
誰だろ
う？ねえ、私がさっきから言ってた人ってあの人かな？
どうだろう。この家の人かな？どうする？一応挨拶しとく？
私やだ。じゃああんた行ってきてよ。
なんだよそれ。じゃあ俺ちょっと行ってくるから待ってて。
うん。いないし。なんだ？なんで閉まってるの？さっき開いてたし。なんで開かないの？なんだろう。ちょっとやだ。もう。
After opening the sliding door that somehow closed on its own, a terrifying face can be seen emerging from behind the door, and as the woman gets startled, we can see what appears to be a hand grabbing her out of nowhere. So just what is this house haunted by?
Okay, that shit is crazy.
Could this be a dangerous yokai? Or maybe the spirit of the mother?
I feel like the Asian ghosts are scarier. I agree, and that just proved it.
Yes, I do. When it comes to paranormal stuff, I mean, whether if it's fake or not,
they do a
really
goddamn good job at it.
Why is it's always like that? The Asian ones are scary, right? Like,
you know what it is that their concept of ghost is different from ours.
They just do a good job
the
at executing.
visualization is also different. You don't look the same. It's based on what you've done. You know,
Some of them are based on like stories, like from their ancient folklore and such. And it's, oh my god, it's scary.
Now I will say this was an impressive video. The second one, I think the name of the person was Depths of Disparity. That's the name of the person who put the video. However, I do question the ghost because it looked kind of fake, but
yeah. But even then, it was still scary.
I think it was still good.
Yeah, I think it was still good.
All right, let's go to the next one.
That was
good. That was good. Let's see it again. All right,
I can't.
That person is there. Now, this is either really good fucking editing at DannyBoy.b. This was a really good video.
Or is this like, if this is real, the person recording has balls.
Yeah, I would have. No, but you know that in Arabic culture, from what I understand, they're not supposed to run away.
No?
Yeah.
No, there's a guy named Ahab Kismaye.
They're supposed to sort of say a prayer.
His name is Ahab Kismaye, and he's a ghost hunter in Arabia. And
that's the one.
They hunt for jinns.
The ones in the caves and stuff.
No. This guy's different. He hunts for jinns, and he goes to these abandoned houses, right? And you hear him, right, doing a prayer, and when he sees the ghost, he runs towards them. So even you can hear him scared, like say whatever he's saying.
And he's what's God? He normally says a prayer, like he starts calling out for God. We have another message from Ziora. I have a friend from the Philippines, and she had a picture she took outside, and on the other side of the lake was a girl with long black hair and a white robe.
La Llorona.
All right, so guys, this last video has to do with current affairs here in the United States.
Oh, fun.
And I think we'll find it funny for some. Some will go into panic mode and, get the aluminum foils ready. But
foil hat.
Get ready for the invasion.
Yeah, they're coming in November. Coming soon in November.
Some of the biggest mysteries in the universe are all about other questions, like the question facing skywatchers tonight. What is it? On the 1st of July, NASA detected a mysterious object speeding toward Earth, and some actual bona fide experts think it might not be your typical space rock or maybe any kind of rock or a natural phenomenon at all. For one thing, 3I Atlas, as it's called, is interstellar, meaning it's from outside Earth's solar system. That is incredibly rare. In fact, it's only the third object from parts unknown to ever visit us. It's also moving very, very quickly, 135,000 miles an hour. Right now, it is near Jupiter, but it's expected to fly by Earth in late November, maybe early December, about 3.5 months from now, at which time my next guest thinks we might get the answer to an even bigger mystery, whether humans are alone in the universe. Avi Loeb is a theoretical physicist and professor at Harvard University. I'm thrilled to have him back on the program. Good to see you again. Okay, so for everybody who doesn't know, this is incredibly rare. It's a third known interstellar object ever detected. Why? Why is that so rare? I mean, why do we have so few of them?
Well, thanks for having me. They're difficult to spot. There aren't many that are passing through the solar system, but this one is quite unusual. It's relatively bright, meaning that it has, if it's a solid object, has a diameter of 20 kilometers. That's bigger than Manhattan Island. And there isn't enough material in rocks in interstellar space to give us such a giant rock once per decade. That's the duration of the survey of the sky. We expect once per 10,000 years such a giant rock. And so the question is, what is it? Now, people argue that it must be a comet, but for a comet, you usually see a cometary tail trailing behind it. In this case, the deepest image that we had with the Hubble Space Telescope revealed that it has glow in front of it, not behind it. And then the trajectory of this object is extremely unusual, fine-tuned. It lies in the plane of the orbits of the planets around the sun, to within 5 degrees. The chance for that happening at random is 1 in 500. And then it comes at a very special time when it passes close to Mars, Venus, and Jupiter. The chance of that happening for this object to pass so close to these as they move around the sun is 1 in 20,000. And when it gets closest to the sun, the Earth would be on the opposite side, so we can't observe it. That could be on purpose if it wants to do some maneuver, taking advantage of the sun's gravity or sending probes to the inner planets. So it looks quite unusual. It came from a direction where there are lots of stars in the sky. That's why we had a hard time identifying it. The question is it technological?
Well, it could be. Or is it possible it is a comet and the tail, you might not see it right now, but the closer it gets, you might see the tail. You might then say, oh, it is a comet. That's a possibility too?
It is a possibility, but we don't see any trace of gas around it, no fingerprints of molecules or atoms. So the question is, does it really look like a comet? And of course, as it gets closer to the sun, it will warm up, and we should be able to see clearer signatures if it is a comet. I have a scale that I invented for the purpose of this object, where 0 would be a natural object and 10 would be a definitely technological object. I give it a 4 right now. Okay. And within the coming months, we might realize that it's actually a 0 if it looks like it's a natural object, or a 10. If it's a 10, then the question is, what do we do about it? And it comes closest to the sun on the 29th of October. It may well be that if we realize it's technological, the stock market will crash because there will be a huge uncertainty.
What do we do? Okay, that's the question. First of all, A, what do you do to find out what it is? And B, if it is what you think, what do we do?
Right, so the response has to depend on its properties and its intent. What is it doing as it comes closer to us? And it's just like having a visitor in your backyard. You can't decide about the policy for all visitors. It really depends on the intent of the visitor, and it's just next door. So it's not like getting a radio signal from a star that is thousands of light years away, where we would have plenty of time to decide how to respond. And I believe that we need an international organization that will make policy decisions about such an object. We are worried about existential threats from artificial intelligence, from global climate.
All right, so that concluded our video, and we were just looking at it, and Max Meeks, what did he say?
That makes sense. Regular Asians scare me. They got martial arts, everything, you know.
I don't think you could say that online.
Toyotas, man, Toyota, good cars.
So what was the other thing?
He says it's a psyop.
I agree. You know, when they're talking about some kind of alien object, I hope it's just an object, right? Because anything that's outside of the Earth is alien, right? Mm-hmm. Is that a fair assumption?
Yeah.
So hopefully it's just a meteor that's passing by, or a group of them saying, hey, what's up? We're here. We're not going to hit you yet, right?
Not yet. You're safe.
Because the truth of the matter is that any intelligent being that's coming to Earth, this wouldn't be laughed about and talked about in the news the way they were talking about it.
Yeah.
But they're saying it's huge. They're saying it's huge. It's like it's the same size of Manhattan. With the accent. Manhattan.
You could just say Manhattan, Frank. It's fine.
Manhattan.
Yeah, you could just say Manhattan, Frank.
Manhattan.
I don't think New Yorkers say Manhattan with an accent.
Manhattan.
So yeah, so they kind of laughed about it too hard for me, or joked around too much about it. I can't take that serious. I think this is what you call a diversionary tactic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's what's happening, but here's what's really going on.
Yeah.
So So that kind of like that's how I felt about the whole thing.
I don't think they would have let us know if like if it was true, they wouldn't let us know like that. I think you
I
just
think we'd
find
have
out
like
when,
a state of emergency.
Yeah, they just you find out when they arrive. Like they wouldn't tell you.
You go outside and it's suddenly dark.
Listen,
Yeah.
you'd be more afraid of your mom telling you the boogeyman is coming than you would of a news reporter telling you aliens are coming.
That is
Yeah.
true.
You want to know why? Because your mom would give you the fear of God,
Yeah.
right? So why would I want to believe something like that when they're not even taking it seriously? They're, oh, well, there's 5 little lines, with colors and blips, and they're coming this way at 10,000 miles an hour.
Coming soon,
Right.
this November, to a planet near to you.
So I'm not convinced, but
Alien invasion.
so all in all, new fonts, new pictures, new intro,
Knew everything.
new video, new shows coming up. Super excited.
Oh yeah.
We had I think today was a good, simple discussion point to warm up the blood. Now we're gonna start looking at some of the heavy hitting stuff.
Mhm.
And go into some of the esoteric things that we want to talk about.
We gotta be careful now. We gotta be real careful.
Yeah, well, you know what? I'm not worried about this.
We believe in God. Don't worry.
We have another message from Ziora saying, "I can't wait for October."
I can't wait either because now we have horror lined up. And for those people who like horror, definitely the show to watch. It's going to be Mr. Grimm. We're going to be tackling that. And I think we're going to do a great job. And it's only going to get better. I think we've gotten better every season, produce better content, better material. I think we're flowing good, right? You got better things. Like, check out this cool.
You are all my children now.
That's Freddie, right?
Yeah, that's Freddie's. That's really for my sister if she's listening. Oh man, I used to have a great time watching these horror films when I was a kid, and never gets old for me.
Well, you look tired. Have a seat.
No thanks. I'm fine just the way I am.
For now, maybe. But when you wake up,
You know what that's from?
it's back in the saddle.
Where's that?
Yeah. It's a chair for you, kid.
That's Freddie.
Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, The Dream.
That was Dream.
Warriors.
Okay, I was right.
He was
okay.
the wizard.
That's
Yeah.
the
The
one
wizard,
with
the wizard on a wheelchair.
That's the one with Johnny Depp where he died.
No, that's part 1, bro.
That's part 1.
That, bro, like you went way back.
You went way too far. You went far too back.
It's funny because I knew Johnny Depp in 21 Jump Street before I saw him in Nightmare on Elm Street.
And he died like.
I mean that was one of the ultimate death scenes to get pulled into a water bed, and then to be all that blood to reverse. It's crazy.
Thank you, Ziora, for the perfume.
Huh?
We got sent a perfume by Ziora.
Thank you.
Perfume.
So
Good talks.
great talk. I
Good
think.
talks.
Thank you, Max. Thank you, Ziora, for joining on the call. This stuff is recorded. It will be part of our podcast. So for those of you who want to just listen in and while you're driving, you can find us at the Amazon Music Store. You can find us on Apple Podcast.
Perfect.
You can find us on iHeartRadio,
Rumble. Thank you for the 2 people watching on Rumble. Thank you guys.
So we're all over the place. We're making moves. We're trying to make better content. Astonishingly enough, our viewership has surpassed YouTube.
Perfect.
With less subscribers, which is insane.
That's right.
However, we want to thank everybody who joins us, likes us, subscribe, buy our merch, which we haven't really pushed out because we're still looking for a good source. But I'm really happy that we kind of warmed up. And I think that for those of you who are going to watch the next one, we'll deliver on a nice little storytelling piece. I'm thinking something like a vampire tale,
Cue the Blade Club music.
No, like an old school 19. I'm thinking like old school 1980s horror, right? And then go from there, right?
Yeah.
Or we could always go 1950s. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. We're going to talk about zombies and sci-fi and all kind of good things, folks.
Kind of like Friday Night vibes. You know what I mean?
That's what I want.
There you go.
That's what I'm aiming for this season. Whatever we release, Mr. Grimm, it's going to give you that. I sat down on a Saturday in 1990, 1989, and I was watching Monsters or Tales from the Dark Side or The Twilight Zone, and it felt like a magical experience.
That's right. Zero like Lost Boys as well. Lost Boys.
The Lost Boys, yeah. They're only noodles, Michael. So, yeah. So with that being said, I think we're done. DaVinci, thank you for everything. We thank you for the beers, and thank you for sharing your...
I was a very, very Asian beer, right?
Yeah, it was, but it tasted good, right? You didn't taste all the preservatives. It actually tastes
very
like beer.
natural.
Natural.
Yeah. I mean, and rightfully so, because in Italy, it's wine country, and they do good ale also. So, yeah, it was fun.
Very fun. I had fun.
And with that being said, I think we should cut off. So, any final words for you guys?
Peace, love, pineapples. Love you all. Thank you guys for watching.
Thank you guys for watching. Remember to follow our social media and check our merch. Thank you, guys.
All right. And for me, I always, give the final. Leonardo da Vinci was a man of many talents, a man of intrigue, a man of mystery, and a man who kind of shaped the landscape for what we call an inventor, right? A pioneer, that kind of stuff. And coined the term Renaissance. He's a Renaissance man. What I think is that we all have that little piece in us. And I think that starts with you exploring your genius and really focusing and honing in on that so that you can become the best version of yourself. So with that being said, this is J-Rock, Frank Walls, and Mr. Valentine for the Distorted Realities DaVinci special. See you in a couple of weeks for another one. Until then, be safe.
Don't forget, discuss the unknown and discover your truths.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching Distorted Realities. This show is produced by J-Rock and Frank Walls. Audio and music by ODOT. Art and design by Corrales Otero. See you next time, and remember, the truth is out there.